Sundarangi Radha Devidasi from Canada, welcoming all of you to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call today. I thank all of you for attending this session. Please forgive me for stopping your ecstatic chanting. And I would like to thank Kirtida Sundari Mataji for the beautiful recitation of Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 18. Thank you so much, Mataji. Before going to our next session, I would like to know who all have joined this mid-morning call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Saglori Srishla Prabhupada, Guru Maharajas and all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Kirtida Sundari Mataji. Thank you for your services, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Kirtida Sundari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Thank you so much, Mataji, for all your wonderful services and for the beautiful recitation, Mataji. Thank you. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Sundari Radha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru and Gauranga ki jai, and all the assembled devotees. This is Shivani from Ashwin, Virginia. Thank you, Kirtida Sundari Mataji, for the beautiful recitation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sibani Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sundarangi Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. This is Vinita Gandharika Devidasi from College Station, Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Thank you so much, Mataji, for all your services, and thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Neetu from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Nitu Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and his assembled devotees. This is Flavia from Atlanta.
Hare Krishna, Plavya Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all Vaishnavas. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Binda Gopika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call every day and giving your sweet association to us. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, you can read Prabhupada's scope now.
Okay, Mataji, sure. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call today. Before going to the call, I would like to read today's quote of Srila Prabhupada, 28 January. As your devotional service becomes mature, you shall see Krishna more and more. And more you shall realize the qualities of the holy land of Braja. Letter to Aladini, January 28, 1973. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Once again, I would like to welcome all of you to Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call today. Today, we are so fortunate to have His Grace Ramgiridhari Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Sri Caitanya Bhagavatam, Madhya khanda, 20.99 to 20 chapter and 99 text to 104 text. I will just see whether Prabhuji is here or not. Hare Krishna Mataji, would you do you see Prabhuji on the call?
No, Mataji, Prabhuji has not yet joined, but we can chant for some time.
Okay, Mataji, sure. Thank you. So we can chant until Prabhu joins. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Pranda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time and association to us this mid-morning and enlightening us on the topic of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavatam. Whenever ready, please take over the call, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Thank you so much. So we will chant invocation prayer and start our discussion. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So we are reading from Caitanya Bhagavata Madhya khanda, chapter 20, text number 99 through all the way to 104. Ye sabalila rakabhuavadi nahaya avirbhavati robhava yehi vedikaya. Although Vedas describe the Lord's appearance and disappearance, there is actually no end to his pastimes. Bahyapayinam Bila Gauranga Mahadira Guptera Garuda Bhava Haila Shustira. On regaining his external consciousness, the most sober Gauranga got down from Murari's back, and Murari's mood as Garuda disappeared. Text 101. Ei bada niguda kata keha nahi jane Gupta skande Mahaprabhu kaila arohane. Ordinary people cannot understand these confidential topics of Mahaprabhu climbing on the back of Murari. Text 102. Murari re kripade ki Vaishnava mandala Dhanya 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 bali prashamse shakala. On seeing the Lord's mercy on Murari, all the Vaishnavas praised him as being most glorious. Dhanya Bhakta Murari Shafala Vishnu Bhakti Vishwambara Leelara Vahane Yara Shakti. Murari Gupta was a most glorious devotee. His devotional service to the Lord was fruitful, for he had the ability to carry Vishwambara in his pastimes. And text 104. Ei mata Murari Guptera Punya Kata Ara Kata Acheye Kailayata. Such are the auspicious topics regarding Murari Gupta. There are many more topics yet to be discussed. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yenam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi Gauravakta Vrindam, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So already Vrindavan Das Thakura has made a important note that ordinary people cannot understand the transcendental activities of the Lord and his dear devotees. So I'm not sure even how am I going to speak about the Leela that is being described over here. But as a service, let me try to share some reflections that I could associate with this current context. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's personal loving relationships with his confidant, with his dearest devotees is so unique that every individual devotee had different types of relationship with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. To some, Mahaprabhu had a parental love. To some, Mahaprabhu had a conjugal or kind of a emotional love. To some, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a, when I say conjugal, I meant to say that he used to open his heart out and speak about his very esoteric feelings. With Murari Gupta, you are all going to hear more pastimes. But with Murari Gupta, it is a very wonderful exchange where, because we know Murari Gupta is Hanuman, so we could naturally understand from every practical interaction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with the Murari Gupta in that master-servant relationship. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's every individual associate is bringing us some nectar through which we have some lessons for us in our devotional life. So in our current context, we are going to learn 4 aspects associated with the Lord's love and towards devotees' devotion. So we are going to discuss about the aspect of qualification, the aspect of benediction, the aspect of empowerment, and the aspect of intent and the mood of a practicing devotee. So we are going to derive a small correlation between these 4 aspects. I will set the context by saying, in the material world, or even in Vedic times, if a person is dwelling on his qualification and because of that he is desiring the result, if somebody is proud about their qualification, if somebody is striving to achieve a qualification and demands the benediction or thinks that he deserves a benediction or dwells on a desirable benediction, it is never seen as first class. But the remaining 2 aspects that I said, empowerment or blessings, which is proportionate to the intent, which is proportionate to the mood associated with the person, completes this equation. I'll give you examples and we will go over certain statements and discuss each of them. Hiranyakashipu performed very severe austerity. Hiranyakashipu performed very intense tapasya, so much so that his body got completely eaten by the ants, and there was an ant hill around him. And you must have studied the description, pretty intense. And this intense devotion or this intense tapasya had an underlying reason, which is to reap the benediction, and the benediction of being immortal. If somebody know the entire context, they will know this is completely asuric. It is like a person who is opening a liquor shop, naming the liquor shop as Balaram Wines or Balaji Wines or some name like that. And even in the shop he keeps the picture of the Lord. I am not saying hypothetically, these are all happen in modern day scenario. They keep the picture of the Lord. Every day when he opens the shop, he offers diya and agarbatti and everything. And what he would pray to the Lord? Make sure that I become rich or my business grow. Which means make sure that as many people as possible they become drunkards. So the prayer, tapasya, yoga, meditation, the qualification that somebody acquired for a specific result, how much ever intense, how much ever glorious, how much ever detailed it may be, if they are having those remaining two variables, which is blessings, empowerment, and the intent, then it is as weird as a person setting up a liquor shop, praying to Krishna to get more customers, or praying to the Lord to get more customers. Let us not go there to say this correct, not correct, should have been done, not should have been done. But I want to say, in terms of absurdness, that here when we see about great Vaishnavas qualification, great Vaishnavas, life in which they are blessed, empowered by the Supreme Lord. So we get to understand the whole science if we very closely, give attention to them. Knowing Murari Gupta's life, knowing Murari Gupta's devotion, knowing Murari Gupta's attachment to Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we should understand, and even Vrindavan Das Thakur says, ordinary people cannot understand these most confidential topics of Mahaprabhu climbing on the back of Murari. Mahaprabhu is, the way he switches his moods, the way he transitions between different moods is very interesting, and he reveals them into a very private forum. So we have to learn some lessons from such actions. So qualification, benediction, empowerment, and the intent or purpose of life, understanding the purpose of life. These are the four components I wanted to discuss as a practicing devotee. In that, qualification, meaning every practicing devotee should constantly strive to develop the necessary qualification for being a useful servant in the service of Supreme Lord. So this is called qualification associated with a right intent. Technically speaking, Brahma actually got pleased with Hiranyakashipu, which means Hiranyakashipu got some necessary qualification. Should that qualification be enough for him to be rewarded whatever he wanted? The answer is no. It is like all qualified engineers do get a suitable job. All qualified husbands are potent to beget a child. Or all rich citizens of the city are happy in their family life. So just because there is some accomplishment, just because there is some success in our endeavor, we cannot get the entitlement. So my first lesson or first reflection in this current context is, even though it is little bit not directly pulled out of the shlokas that we read, but if you go a little deeper, that we need to understand the qualification that one should acquire. If it is not associated with right intent, if it is not associated with the real purpose of life, the qualification cannot reap the necessary fruition. In Hiranyakashipu's case, I will give you 4 examples. Hiranyakashipu, Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Mrigari. All 4 different examples. Hiranyakashipu worked hard, really hard, to acquire a qualification. Prahlad Maharaj simply followed what he has been instructed and did not have to do anything, and he has been looked after. Dhruva Maharaj demonstrated his intensity, maybe without right clarity, but intensity with innocence. So he was given a necessary help and eventually got the result. And Mrigari is Agyata Sukriti, is costless or meaning, or however, there is no reason how, but Narada Muni met Mrigari, but he got that and the effect of it. So all those people, they rose from ground zero to a most successful stage through some way or the other, and each of them had different results. In case of Hiranyakashipu, he had adopted a very tough, austere path, but because there was no right intent, there was no right purpose associated with that. Whatever he desired could not be delivered. So he was delivered what could be, the deliver closest to possible blessings that could be delivered to him was only delivered. That itself, as an asura, he thought. But in case of Murari Gupta, in case of any self-realized soul, in case of so many devotees that we have heard about their pastimes and discussions, that qualification combined with extreme devotion, combined with the blessings or empowerment, reaped the necessary results. Qualification and devotion, how are they different? Qualification refers to one's endeavor in removing the unwanted things in life, one's endeavor in practicing sadhana and walking on righteous path, one's endeavor in trying to embrace the lifestyle that is needed, and devotion is the desire, prayer that is associated with that person. So Murari Gupta's life, Murari Gupta has been glorified in this entire chapter because he is demonstrating, or he is going to demonstrate whatever the epitome or the height of devotion that somebody could comprehend. Because in Chaitanya Charitamrita, every individual personality, whoever is associated with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu glorifies them or brings their wonderful nature in some way or the other. So Murari Gupta's stature here is described, and furthermore his pastimes are going to be described. So it is to be noted that these wonderful devotees, they have necessary qualification by their practices, they have necessary devotion by their prayers, they have necessary blessings by the way of commanding that respect, commanding that attention, and finally they are given the benediction of being in the company of the Lord, in which they are sharing a confidential moments with them. So our sadhaka life, one needs to be very much aware that dwelling on the benefits and rewards that we should be getting, or even doing devotional activities only for the benefits or rewards, is not Brahminical, or it is not something which is noble. Because if somebody is dwelling on what I am going to get, it is Vyavasaya Buddhi. If somebody is dwelling on pleasing the Lord and making sure that the Lord is the center of attraction, it is called Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi. So in Murari Gupta's case, or in any other Vaishnava Acharya's case, or in any other associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's case, they had necessary qualification by their own character, and they had necessary devotion by their own desire. So character plus necessary desires combined packages the person's ability to attract blessings and eventually the results. So as a practicing devotee, because I've been part of some festivities recently, and after the festivities are over, still some discussions are going on, and there is a constant observation that we as a practicing devotee, conditioned souls, we are constantly dwelling on what all I have done, how I have done, how I deserve a respect, how I deserve a benefit, how I deserve a credit, how I deserve an appreciation, how I am supposed to be recognized. But the more and more we dive deep into the lives of Vaishnava Acharyas, more and more we dive deep into the lives of great devotees, we only hear how the way they are conducting themselves is to only focus on building their character plus devotion, or character plus desire, which we call as a necessary qualification, which will attract blessings or empowerment and eventually the necessary benediction or benefits, rewards. So this is my first reflection. And the second reflection in this current context is in the same line to discuss about this qualification, benefits and empowerment. So it is to be noted that the Lord helps those who help themselves. So our devotional life should be mainly focusing on helping ourselves so that we are part of the solution instead of being part of the problem. I'll tell you why I'm saying this. When many times we hear from Chaitanya Bhagavata or other places where we get to hear that we can't understand this, we can't understand that. So which also means that we may tend to misunderstand. Just before this call, I had a discussion with our congregation devotees. We are recording a drama on Santa Janabai. I'm not sure if you all know. She's a very wonderful devotee of Lord Vittala. So we are having an upcoming Prabodhan Utsav in our community. Yearly we put some drama. So this time we are planning to put the drama on Santa Janabai. She's from Vittal Parivar. So we were discussing that how a common man, how a normal person's viewpoint of seeing anything in life in comparison to how a self-realized soul views anything in life, and how without a proper preaching, a proper narration, proper presentation, there is a 9 out of 10 times we will tend to misunderstand self-realized devotees as ordinary souls or conditioned souls or somewhat, mediocre persons. So my second reflection is that as a practicing devotee, it is imperative that we learn to help ourselves by trying to tune up our activities and thought process in such a manner that we are part of the solution, which means our endeavor in trying to understand Vaishnava Acharya's life, trying to understand the activities of great devotees from their perspective, it will help us to shape up our life. It will help us to build the necessary qualification. It will help us to make sure that we attract the Supreme Lord's smile. Srila Prabhupada says in one place, the success of a practicing devotee's devotion is, decided when his spiritual master turns his face towards the disciple, or the Supreme Lord turns his face towards the bhakta and gives a smile, which means being recognized. So my second reflection is to say that being recognized by the Lord is possible only when I am able to help myself and choose to be on the side of the solution than on being part of the problem. This is a statement which we need to kind of very deeply introspect, because many times we think that I am part of the solution whilst I am the problem. That is why the first reflection and second reflection put together combined will make this equation much more stronger. Where in the first reflection we said that the qualification, which means character development, and our devotion, which means our desire to get the Supreme Lord's attention or get Supreme Lord, together, when they're combined, when your right character and right devotion attracts the empowerment, enablement, mercy of the Supreme Lord, and all the three put together give you the benediction. And this is possible only when we think, desire to help ourselves by being part of the solution. What is called part of the solution? Srila Prabhupada says, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj says, Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, all the three Acharyas says in three different situations, in three different ways, but same point. Which means the devotional service is the most wonderful and purest form. The pure devotional service that is given by Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas, by Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, is supposed to be executed in a pure state of mind. That is why Bhaktivinoda Thakur is against, kapat, duplicit vyakti. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj is very strong on pretenders. Bhaktivinoda, our dearest Srila Prabhupada is also warning us to be very careful at how we are supposed to present Krishna consciousness by our conduct. So Murari Gupta's life, activities, glorious pastimes here are not just meant to say wah wah wah, because anyway we don't understand. But at least if we have to understand some things, may it be that I need to orient myself in such a manner that I am part of the solution, part of helping someone to take up Krishna consciousness. By looking at you, by looking at me, by looking at devotees, somebody interested in taking up Krishna consciousness rather than being angry with them. Half of the time our behaviors are such that our parents, our fellow members, the family thinks that this Krishna consciousness is an impractical thing, whilst it is wonderful. The third reflection is about the aspect about how this topics of Mahaprabhu along with his associates are confidential and transcendental. For this, I would like to quote an important point mentioned by our dearest Gaur Govinda Maharaj. He says, simplicity is Vaishnavism. And he says, why I'm saying this simplicity is Vaishnavism? Because on one side, they are saying all these pastimes are confidential. And on the other side, they are saying not everybody is able to understand them, but they are still revealing them out of their own compassion, out of their own greatness, out of their own broad-mindedness, by presenting this, hoping that with the help of self-realized soul, we will be able to hear them, relish them, and will be able to, take part at some point in time in our life in such transcendental activities. So my third reflection is about simplicity is Vaishnavism, and being simple is one of the most difficult thing in this world, but it is very natural when we serve under a sincere Vaishnava. And the reason I am stating this in this current context is that transcendental topics, they are confidential topics, they are not comprehensible by everyone, but still it is being told. And still we are journeying them. And still we are having a hope that we will change. Which means this is three things packaged together. It is like a dhamaka. It is like a wonderful, colorful blessings, very nicely packaged, very nicely delivered, and it is only expected that we receive them from the right person rather than just go and buy them directly. If you receive them through a proper channel, if you receive them through a disciplic succession, if you receive them, so these pastimes, when they are narrated, if these pastimes, when they are described, when these pastimes, when they are properly, glorified, probably even Madhya Jiva is able to understand it. That is the biggest contribution of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada picked up a smallest context, gave a glorious perspective, and somehow or other helped us to, try to develop devotional life. So that brings me to the fourth reflection, which is the life of a Vaishnava. The presence of a Vaishnava transforms a desert to an orchard. Our heart is like desert-like, dry with materialistic thoughts. But when we get the association of such great sadhus and who's narrating glorification of some other sadhu, what happens is this desert-like heart gets charged up to become like an orchard. So this desert-like heart, without Vaishnavas in this world, suppose there is no Vaishnava, suppose there is no devotees in the world, in our surroundings, in our habitat, in our life, I'm sure the life is in devotional life will be so dry that we will not be able to even pull on for a few days. So my fourth reflection is presence of Vaishnavas transforms a desert-like orchard to a desert to an orchard. Sorry, a desert to an orchard, wherein a desert-like place, heart, which is full of materialistic thoughts, where devotion sprouts. Yogyata vichare kichu nahi bai tomara karunashara karuna na hoile kandiya prana na raki pohara. I have evaluated and I have analyzed, I have thought about what qualification I have. Kichu nahi bai. I don't have any qualification. But for your mercy, I will not be able to sustain. And the continuity of this is, if in the assembly of Vaishnavas, if I am able to perform Sankirtan, just presence of Vaishnava transforms the heart from desert to orchard. But what if I do Sankirtan in the assembly of Vaishnavas, which are like enjoying the fruits of the orchard? immediately we become capable or going to become capable of gaining the access to the spiritual abode just by performing Sankirtan. So these narrations are Sankirtan. These narrations are something which is non-material. This is superlative. On seeing the Lord's mercy on Murari, all the Vaishnavas praised him being most glorious. So the point is that these Sankirtan or these discussions along with Vaishnavas, they are going to give access to the spiritual abode. I go one step further. Where does it all begin? Overnight, I will not be able to go to spiritual abode. Where does it all begin? It begins with we getting service opportunities at the lotus feet of Vaishnava for actually, really doing the trajectory. So, my presence of Vaishnava in my life transforms the heart, and the way it will transform is by making us participate in Sankirtan. And the effect of Sankirtan in our life is, which is having the ability to give access to spiritual abode, is when I am getting service opportunity. So when a spiritual instruction heard from the lips of a devotee, even the most complicated subject becomes meaningful. And the conviction of a sadhu on the spiritual topic acts as a powerful weapon to cut the knots of designs. On last week we discussed about the designs and knowledge. Krishna Surya Saman Maya Hara Antahara. So these are all very esoteric, very wonderful, very out of the world context. But it becomes meaningful when the spiritual subject matter, when they are received, rather than when they are, when they are read or when they are accessed by us directly. When they are received, when they are delivered, when they are presented to us, when we hear from the lips of a pure devotee, even the most complicated subject becomes meaningful. Because the devotee, because of his conviction, because of his devotion, his words and the narration of his spiritual topics are as powerful as a weapon which can cut the knots of these sides. If we are able to perceive all these things in our life in some capacity, to some minuscule effect, percentage, then please note you are on the right track. Keep doing them again and again. One day we will experience what Murari Gupta experienced. Because Krishna is assuring, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is assuring, Chaitanya Bhagavata is assuring. What assurance is? That when we participate, it is not that we are going to become Murari Gupta. No, it means that what Murari Gupta, what Sanatana Goswami, Rupa Goswami, great personalities, they got, the benediction. That benediction we will also get because the process is going to make us as Goswamis. So that's a fourth reflection wherein I want to say that let us not stop with our qualification. Let us not stop with our accomplishments. Let us not stop with our being rewarded. Let's go the full circle. If we go the full circle, we will be able to really understand what devotion is. Otherwise, we will be dwelling on what devotion's look-alikes are. Today, most of my devotion is beating around the bush. It is around devotional look-alike. That looks like devotion, but I'm not sure. Looks like devotion, I'm not sure. But the day when we actually participate, when we actually engage in activities, as per our conversation today, then we will be able to enjoy the real fruit. We will enjoy the real taste. We will enjoy the real transformation. And that's what all these great acharyas have done. There's a saint by name Purandara Das in Karnataka, in Bangalore, Karnataka area. a very wonderful saint, and he has composed lots of songs glorifying, the Lord. In his earlier days, he used to be a miser. People used to call him as Navakoti Narayana, which means he has kept on acquiring wealth by being miserly. But when he became a self-realized devotee, he is cursing himself. What a fool I was. There were days where I thought that all this material wealth, material power, material position, material results are going to give me some success, happiness, security. The real security is Lord Narayana. The real shelter is Lord Narayana. The real home is Lord Narayana's abode. The real happiness is to sing in the assembly of Vaishnavas about the glories of Narayana. So when the glories of Krishna are being discussed, the glories of Vaishnavas are being discussed, they are never ending. That is what the first shloka is. They are never ending. It may appear that Krishna appeared and disappeared. It may appear that there is a beginning and end to a pastime. There is no beginning and end to a pastime. The pastime is ever increasing and it is ever growing. It is constantly, as the Vaishnava sees the Lord, his emotion attracts the Lord, and Lord's attraction inspires the devotee. This conversation is going on. When Krishna Garbha touched Dhruva Maharaj's head with the conch, immediately Dhruva Maharaj is starting to compose songs. And one of the prayer is that I was such a stupid fellow. I thought that this broken pieces of glasses to be diamond, broken pieces of glasses to be jewel. I was desiring for those broken pieces of glass. Now I find how stupid I was, how fallen I was. Interestingly, what Krishna rewarded him back? Krishna rewarded him back what he asked for and also what he did not ask for. He gave him what he asked for, ruling the kingdom as much as time, eternity. Eternity here means long period of time. And at the end of the time, he says, when you are going to do these worldly activities, you will not be bound by any of the effects of them. And at the end, you will come to me. So he has given him what he has asked for, and also one step further than that. So that is why I said, Hiranyakashipu, he did the tapasya, he apparently got qualified, but he did not get what he wanted. Prahlad Maharaj, he just simply remembered and adhered to whatever Bhagavatam that he heard from Narada Muni and became a devotee. He got what Hiranyakashipu wanted. That is why in later stages of life, when Prahlad Maharaj, when Hiranyakashipu wanted to kill Prahlad Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj could not be killed, Hiranyakashipu's anguish, frustration, anger, they were mounting, they were adding up to become like a very, very violent person. And one of the reasons for that was what I wanted is exactly what my son is enjoying. I wanted immortality, and this guy is immortal. We are not able to kill him. How did he get that? So my closing note here is that many times in our devotional journey, we even come to the point of knowing what the actual solution is, but because of our some materialistic quotient, because of our holding on, latching on to some materialistic thoughts, because of us holding on, latching on to something, temporary, we may even undermine the effect of them. Even though we may have seen them, heard them, it is just in front of them or in our house, we would not take advantage of them. So these are all were my reflections in the current context. So to summarize our learning, so we had 4 sets of reflections today. The first reflection that I want to what I was saying was this about the aspect of qualification, benefits, empowerment associated with our real intent or the purpose of human form of life. So generally, materialistic people, they acquire qualification or they even demand benefits just because they have acquired a qualification. Like Hiranyakashipu thought, like so many materialistic men thought, so many asuras thought. They just perform tapasya towards Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, or some great personalities, and to an extent, somebody even try to Bhasmasura. He got a boon from Lord Shiva, but he won't try that on Lord Shiva. That is the kind of genius mentality that people with only limited intelligence have. So what I want to say is that in our devotional journey, our benedictions that we get is the last. But before that, we have three components: qualification, which is a combination of character development and desire for pleasing, glorifying the Lord. Attached to it, devotion, which is the character with devotion, and third is blessings, empowerment. With them will give us the necessary benefits. So whether it is Murari Gupta, whether it is Advaita Acharya, whether it is Nityananda Prabhu, whether it is Haridas Thakur, whether it is Srivas Thakur, whether it is Gadadhar Pandit, whether it is Pundariki Vidyanidhi, all the great personalities, we have been hearing about their glories in connection with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All of them, they just did not acquire qualification. They also had the right intent. They had the right, principles of life. That's why my first reflection is every practicing devotee should constantly strive to develop the necessary qualification for being a useful servant in the service of Guru and Gauranga, dwelling on the benefits of rewards that we should be getting, or doing devotional activities only for the benefits or rewards is not first class, it is not Brahminical. So then the second reflection, I discussed this, the Lord will help those who help themselves. So our devotional life is mainly to help ourselves to acquire the necessary character and acquire the necessary devotion so that we are part of the solution instead of being part of the problem. The third reflection I had is the simplicity is Vaishnavism, and which means the Vaishnava, whilst saying it's a confidential topic, whilst saying it is about the glorious nature, glorious activities of great personalities. So it is confidential, glorious, but it is still revealed to exhibit the kind of mercy, the kind of simplicity, the kind of innocence the Vaishnava shows, and the kind of mood for somehow or other rescuing us from this cycle of birth and death. So as Vrindavan Das Thakur is describing about the activities of Murari Gupta and the glories of Murari Gupta, Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, so many great personalities, they have come and helped us in presenting this transcendental nature of Krishna consciousness. So we are highly indebted to them. That brings the fourth reflection, saying that without them, our heart is like a desert. With them, it has become orchid. And the Sankirtan in their assembly is like eating the fruit of the orchid and performing, getting service opportunity at the lotus feet of such a Vaishnava makes it a complete 360 degree where I am reaping the results of having those fruits. So it's important to note when a spiritual instruction heard from the lips of a pure devotee, even the most complicated subject becomes meaningful. The conviction of a sadhu on the spiritual topic acts as a powerful weapon to cut the knots of insights. Thank you so much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Chaitanya Bhagavat ki jai, Dai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. I'm right now in a holy dham called Madurai, as I mentioned earlier, by the blessings of several Vaishnavas and also by the blessings of my Guru Maharaj. So we are trying to do a project here in Madurai. It's a very prestigious, important, strategic project for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada. So please give your blessings. I will definitely explain to you all when appropriate time comes. It's a very great project. Every month, 1 week I spend here to make sure that we are able to make some useful endeavor to glorify Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada's teachings. So please give your blessings, and if there are any questions, comments, reflections, critiques in what we discussed, please let me know, because I'm sure the content of today's verses could be churned out in a completely different way, but because Vrindavan Das Thakura himself has said that it is not comprehensible for everyone, and I come in that everyone category. I did whatever I could, comprehend. So please forgive me if what I said is not what they expected. Hare Krishna. Shri Shri Gaurnitai ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for the wonderful, wonderful class, Prabhu. So I understood little very because I don't have that much capacity to observe all, but you were saying so nicely, Prabhu, how to practice the devotional service with complete faith, qualification. You said the devotion is needed and the simplicity is needed and the blessings is required. And you mentioned the sang Jogeta Bichare Kuch Nahi More. And you said wonderfully how Dhruva Maharaj has said in his prayers. I was finding for a piece of glass, but I end up means finding the precious thing. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you. Maybe with your blessings, Prabhu, we can practice little bit for the pleasure of Sri Guru and Gauranga. Mm, Yes, Prabhu, we need your blessings. Thank you so much for your association, Prabhu. With your permission, I want to ask devotee if they have any realization or any questions, then they can go ahead. Is it okay, Prabhu?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please unmute yourself. If you have any questions or realization, please go ahead. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for this wonderful class. It was very, very practical. Prabhuji, this question came to my mind that you said that the life of a Vaishnava should be simple. The thing is, Prabhuji, our current education system makes our thinking overly complex, overly analytical, and we are trained to think in a complex manner. In this age, how can we attain this simplicity?
It's $1 million question. And since morning, this is the fourth time I'm going to answer this because I'm here only for a similar agenda on education only.
Oh.
So you're right, absolutely, that our education system has become completely complex and also impractical to maintain peace and sanity. One of the immediate response or easiest way in which we can achieve is by committing, performing menial services in the close proximity of self-realized souls. If you take history, every individual great personalities would have done that. They had taken a humble, simple, position in the assembly of self-realized soul, and they served them very menially, without any, upadhi, without any kind of designations associated with them. We need to search for that window, because that is why, Hanuman Prashek Maharaj used to always say that why Brajamandal Parikrama is glorious, because in Brajamandal Parikrama, you have to lead a humble life. I mean, if you want to travel with them, you have to learn to live a humble life, simple life, living in tent, not having. So these are all apparently called forced austerity, but somewhere or the other, simplicity can only be, acquired when we are with simple people. Unfortunately, we are always with complicated people. So that is why in our childhood days, I'm sure even the custom is still on, the young children, they're always asked to accompany, Vaishnavas in some tours, some yatra, and what they are supposed to do, they just massage their feet, wash their clothes, serve their food, wash their plates, clean their toilets. So somehow our children are pampered because they are born with a silver spoon. They are not given any of those things. In fact, if you go and ask any of the Gen Beta, I was told that now Gen Beta has started from 2025, from Gen Alpha. So if you ask them to even bow down to someone, a senior, it is because it's a big agenda. I said that why am I supposed to? That's a kind of mood that can be there. So as parent, as adult, for our children, we should teach them by we behaving, we showing. Simplicity can only be achieved when we are conducting in a humble state of mind in the closest proximity of Vaishnava. This is the most practical way that I have personally experienced and also seen and learned. There may be other ways by which we can gain them, but just you don't do anything. I mean, I used to always say this. When I used to pre-COVID, I used to regularly come to US twice a year, and I used to visit, some devotees ashram, and one of the ashram is ashram of Harmathur Sheikh Maharaj. Very humble ashram, but very purifying place because we have not even tasted what simplicity means. Simplicity is very tasty, very relishable because we have not tasted them. We have not, been in the company of such a Vaishnava for an extended period in time. We get, we get a different vibes about what spiritual life is all about. So if we have close proximity with proper maturity and perform menial service, you will get simplicity. That's my personal realization. Making sense, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, makes absolutely wonderful. Prabhuji, I have just one quick question. What's the difference between Vyavasaya Buddhi and Vyavasaitma Vyavasaitmika Buddhi? I kind
Vyavasaya
of
Buddhi
got
means,
confused.
I will tell you. Prabhupada explains this. Vyavasayatmika Buddhi means mindset of a person who is interested in devotion. Means a person is focused towards protecting his soul to be serving the super soul. Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi Ekeha Gurunandana. Vyavasaya Buddhi means it is mentality of a trader, businessman. Vyavasaya means transaction, business, lane dein, give and take, profit center, benefit centric. That is called Vyavasaya Buddhi. So Prabhupada says that generally devotees should not have Vyavasaya Buddhi, which means should not have the mentality of trying to search for what do I get in return. Rather, we should search for making sure that our soul serves the super soul in the company of Vaishnavas. Making sense?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your wonderful answers. Then pranam. Hare Krishna.
Any other questions?
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Nice to be back here in your class. Very nice. I really liked a couple of things that you were mentioning about how when you hear from the mouth of a pure devotee, certain realizations that they speak out, that transforms our heart from being a desert to being a nice, you used a good word, like lush. Orchard, yeah. I said lush garden. Okay, orchard. Yeah. And the other thing, actually, you just said it very quickly. You said so nicely that it is also very nice when we hear a Vaishnava glorifying another Vaishnava. That is very, very impactful. I thought that is very true. When we hear a great Vaishnava glorifying another Vaishnava, I feel that we tend to appreciate that other Vaishnava so much more than what we can have appreciation for that person. So thank you so much for including that when you were telling. Beautiful realizations, Prabhu, as always. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji. And here Amrita Radhika Mataji is also thanking you, Prabhu, for the wonderful session and excellent points. Thank you, Prabhu. I cannot see any more hand raised, Prabhu. Is it okay, Prabhu? With your permission, can we end the call here, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, koti koti dandavat pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Your class is always, Prabhuji, बहुत प्रैक्टिकल होता है, डे टू डे लाइफ में यूजफुल होता है. हम अपने आप को करेक्ट करें. जब 5 अंगुली में से somebody will point out one ungli, to char to mere taraf hai na. So the fault is in my side, Prabhuji. Learn so many lessons from your class. Prabhuji, can you please sing one Vaishnav song by the permission of senior Vaishnava? Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
All glory to Srila Prabhupada, all glory to your kind words, Mataji, and it's not mine, it is always Bhagavatam and Vaishnavacharya's literatures are very practical. That is why they are glorious, because they are not just some, what do you call it? They are not meant, they are not written, and they are not supposed to be explained, they are not supposed to be implemented theoretically, they are supposed to be, helping us to transform. So if some transformation is happening, it is only to, add glories to those great personalities. If it is not, then probably I have to reflect and, maybe I may have sold a wonderful product wrongly. So, all glory to Prabhupada. So yes, a song, आपकी फरमाइश हम पूरा कर लेते हैं. So, till then, if anybody has any other comments, critiques, something, I'm sure sometimes I complicate the simple subject because I'm not sure how many of you have had blessings of hearing Gopal Krishna Maharaj. One of the wonderful things that I like in Gopal Krishna Maharaj is that I observed him very closely, and this I've read in some places also. A Vaishnava is able to present the most glorious, complicated, or even the most intense subject in such a simple manner, in a concise manner. If one sentence, they would embed such wonderful things. So it's an art. So sometimes we have to learn. Okay. So I will sing this song. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Kali Kukura Kadam Jhabi Jao. This is a song written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I will copy this and put it in the for the benefit of all of you. Kali Kukura Kadam Jadi Chao He Kali Pavana Kali Bhayanashana Shri Sachinandana Gao He Gadadhar Madana Nitare Pranadana Advaiter Prabhujita Gora Nimai Vishwambhar Srinivasa Ishwara Bhakta Samuha Chita Chora Nagiya Sashadana Maya Pura Ishwara Nama Pravartana Sura Grihijana Sikshaka Nyasikula Nayaka Madhava Radha Bhavapura Sarvabhauma Shodhana Gajapati Tarana Ramananda Poshana Veera Rupananda Vardhana Sanatana Palana Haridasa Modhana Dheera Vrajarasa Bhavana Dushtamata Shatana Kapati Vigatana Kama Shuddha Bhakta Palana Shushka Dhyana Tadana Chala Bhakti Dushana Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. If you want to be rid of the influence of dog-like personality of Kali, then just sing the glories of the beautiful son of Mother Sachi, Sachinandana. He is the savior of the Kali Yuga, Kali Yuga Pavana, and he is Kali Bhaya Nashana, the destroyer of all fear caused by the age of war. He maddens Sri Gadadhara with his name, Gadadhara Madhana. He is the treasure of the life of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Nitayera Pranadana, and he is the most worshipable object of Sri Advaitacharya, Advaiter Prapujita. He is affectionately named Nimai by his mother due to being born under a neem tree, and he has been named Vishwambara by his grandfather. He is the only Lord of Sri Srivasa, Srinivasa Ishwar, and he steals the hearts of all the assembled devotees, Bhakta Samoga Chittachora. Lord Chaitanya is the moon over Madhya, Madhya Sashada, the Lord of Sri Mayapur Dhama, Mayapura Ishwar, and the divine propagator of his own name, Nama Pravartana Sura. He is the instructor of family men, Grihi Jana Sikshaka, and he is also the hero of those who are the renounced order, Nyasikula Nayaka. He is the husband of the daughters of Arjun, Madhava, and he is overflowing with ecstatic moods and sentiments of Srimati Radharani, Radha Bhavapura. Lord Chaitanya is the corrector and purifier of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Sarvabhauma Shodhana, and the deliverer of King Pratap Rudra, Gajapati Tarana, the source of nourishment of Srila Ramananda Raya, Ramananda Poshana, and he is a great hero, Veera. He increases the ecstasy of Srila Rupa Goswami, Rupananda Vardhana. He is the maintainer and protector of Srila Sanatana Goswami, Sanatana Palana. He gladdens Haridas Thakur, Haridas Amodana, and he is very great, Veera. Lord Chaitanya is the source of transcendental mellows of Rajadama, Prajarasa Bhavana. He is the destroyer of all mischievous and wicked mentality, Dushta Mata Sadhana, and he dissolves the mundane lust of the deceitful, insincere souls by his causeless mercy, Kapati Vigadana Kama. He maintains and protects his pure devotees, his pure Vaishnava devotees, Shuddha Bhakta Palana, and he chastises dry speculative knowledge, Shushka Jnana Tadana. He destroys pretentious and hypocritical devotion, Chala Bhakti Dushana, and is the reservoir of pleasure, Rama. Hare Krishna, Shri Gaurnitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Jai Gaura Premanande.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for the wonderful song also. Thank you. It is a special treat for all of us. Thank you. May we all can follow the process of Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, as you said, and may we all can get the little bit taste of the lotus feet. You said the fruit taste. We all had a desire to taste that fruit, what Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami all have tested in our parampara. Yes, Prabhu, and may we try to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna. And Yasumati Mataji is also.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Very, very wonderful session, Prabhu. Prabhu, if you have time, I have one little question.
Yeah, sure, man.
So, Prabhuji, as we all know, regarding this song that you sang so beautifully, so we know that how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, they are normally regarded as Patita Pavana. And normally it is said that, yes, they are Patita Pavana, they are not Kapati Pavana. But how to understand that in this verse, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is singing that you are Kapati Vignatakama. So if you can throw a little bit light on that.
Wonderful. Okay, my realization is like this. Because we are kapati, still somehow our spiritual master recommends us for being a candidate to be received Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. So it is like this. Guru Gauranga. So Gauranga se Guru milta hai, Guru ki mercy se Gauranga milte hai. So I am kapati. And what my Guru is saying is catching hold of my ears and he is giving a slap on my cheeks and saying, Kapat, yeah. So just that slap, just that, whack, just that love enables us to get Mahaprabhu's mercy. So by design, we will not be able to get. Prabhupada writes in a, Nectar of Instruction, one very beautiful place, 5th chapter of Nectar of Instruction. Let me just pull that out. Several times I've read that. So Prabhupada says, 5th verse, yeah. In the 5th verse, there's one place Prabhupada says, okay. One whose faith is soft and pliable is called a neophyte. If you want to search that, you can search in the 5th verse. Yahara komala shraddhe se kanishta jana krame karme tenho bhakta ghabe uttama. Uske baad ka paragraph. The one whose faith is soft and pliable is called a neophyte. Yeah, just after that.
Yes.
But by gradually following the process, he will rise to the platform of a first-class devotee. Everyone begins his devotional life from the neophyte stage. But if one properly finishes chanting the prescribed number of rounds of Harinama, he is elevated step by step to the highest platform, Uttamadhikari. The Krishna consciousness movement prescribes 16 rounds daily because people in the Western countries cannot concentrate for long periods while chanting on beats. Therefore, the minimum number of rounds is prescribed. However, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura used to say that unless one chants at least 64 rounds of japa, 100,000 names, he is considered fallen. According to his calculation, practically every one of us is fallen. But because we are trying to serve the Supreme Lord with all seriousness and without duplicity, we can expect the mercy of Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is famous as Patita Pavana, the deliverer of the fallen. So this word without duplicity, Prabhupada uses in many, many places. And this is what the song also says. And the way by which moving from Kapati Vighatana to Patita Pavana zone, where being Patita and being, delivered by one, we need someone's whack. We need someone's, Ravindra Swarup Prabhu went to Srila Prabhupada and asked Srila Prabhupada, who is more wonderful, book Bhagavata or devotee Bhagavata? Srila Prabhupada says, devotee Bhagavata is wonderful because he can tweak your ear and drag you to the lotus feet of Krishna. So this kapati, this duplicityness can only go when we expose ourselves, we present ourselves as somebody, Padima Mataji, somebody asked this question. How do we develop this simplicity? By we submitting ourselves or we are chosen, either of the one. And he says, you kapat, you should hear Gaur Govinda Maharaj's classes, where he sometimes dramatically says,
yes,
if you are a kapat, you can't get, Krishna praying. So my understanding is that somewhere we get Gurudev's, Vaishnavas, somebody's mercy, and also as Prabhupada writes, somewhere we chanting the holy name of the Lord. Kapati se pakada jata hai. So your kapatiness can be removed, and then Mahaprabhu can bestow his mercy. This is my understanding. I'm sure there are plenty of other ways by which Mahaprabhu can eliminate our kapatipan, but then it is important. I'm making some sense here.
Of course, Prabhu, 100%. Thank you so much.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Yes, Sundarangi Mataji, you can take over and end the call. Sorry.
Oh, Mataji, thank you so much, Mataji, for asking the question. And Prabhuji also explained so nicely. Yes, Prabhu, I heard once the lecture of Sri Srimad Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj. He has mentioned it so nicely. We should give up this duplicity. Otherwise, Mahaprabhu is not going to give us mercy. One day he was saying, yes, Prabhu, may we can get all
In Gopala Chappal pastime, there is a very interesting episode where Gopala Chappal, for him to get rid of his leprosy, Mahaprabhu directed him to go to Gopala Chappal and ask for forgiveness and shed his, quotient. But then, before he go to, Srivas Thakur, Gopala Chapal went to Nityananda Prabhu also. So somewhere or the other, the encouragement or the support system offered by our Vaishnavas helps us. That is why simplicity is a wonderful quality where your duplicity is forgiven and forgotten, and you are given an opportunity. Okay, go. I will bless you. I will make you, for now, this time, I'll give you a temporary pass. Go inside, get some blessings, then you can, build your brownie points. It is something like that.
Haribol, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. It gives lots of hope to all who are struggling, all like sadhakas like me, Prabhu. Thank you so much. And Yasumati Mataji is also writing, Haribol, thank you for such a wonderful practical class, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Okay, Prabhu, with your permission, we can end the call here. Thank you so much for such an enlightening class today, and we will look forward for your association again in the future. Dear devotees, let's pay our obeisances to Prabhuji and all the devotees. Vancha kalpa taru वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। शिला प्रभुपाद की जय।
Hare